Great. Okay, so my first question for you guys is, why did you choose Regis for your graduate school?
Honestly,
Yeah.
because I didn't have to take the GMAT.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Any other
Program.
reasons? Program? Okay.
The specificity.
Okay.
It was very specific, saying, for instance, a lot of other schools had a MBA program specified into business.
Mm-hmm.
We just had something geared for marketing specifically.
Great. Okay.
Cost relative to other graduate programs here in
Yeah.
Colorado, it's reasonably cost.
Okay.
As that was what was for me too. I was actually choosing between here and DU. And
Okay.
I get the exact same degree of quality of education that I did there for a lot less.
Great.
Because it's for people who work, it's more accessible.
Okay.
Reputation, and I live right across the street.
Hey, that's even better.
So I chose this because this university is cheaper
Yeah.
compared to other university, and program is great.
Good. Glad you enjoy it.
I chose it because I'd be able to take classes in person rather than the online format.
Great.
Main motivator.
I should quantify my GMAT comment. I also like that they take your professional experience into account when you try to get into the graduate program here. It's not just a name or an application. So I like that there was some level of competition, but that I didn't have to go back and take a standardized test when I had been out of college for so long.
Yeah.
I also like that the campus's locations were where we were going to be.
Cool.
Some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say costs, affordable for me. Program was nice, is exactly what I was looking for in marketing. And location.
Great.
I did my undergrad here, and I met some
Better.
very influential professors who just, once I graduated, I said I wasn't going to do my master's, but knowing Regis's reputation also,
Mm-hmm.
I decided to come back and have my experience with these professors.
Perfect.
Being last, there's not much left for me to add. There's no originality per se. My vice president and one of my directors is from Regis. So
Cool.
it's a small bit of research.
Okay.
For my decisions.
Great.
And everything else too.
Okay. So you guys don't have to go around the room if you don't want to. It's up to you guys what you would like to share. And then as far as reputation goes, we have been trying to define this for the longest time now. I know that you mentioned you went to Regis for the reputation. Can you guys quantify that at all? What does that mean to you? Does it mean you get a better job? Does it mean you have a better salary? What does that mean to you guys?
Peer recognition,
Okay.
you're going to prestigious,
Yeah.
as far as peer reviews go, school, and when you quantify peer reviews to us, at least to myself, that meant a lot. So if I was making and jumping into an investment, I would want to know that it was something that had been proved and gone through already
Yeah.
through a peer. So
Great. This is a difficult question. I still can't figure out how to define it, so I thought I'd ask you guys.
People I know that have gone here have had a pretty solid career path within my company, so.
Great.
And they have good things to say, honestly, so that leads
Great.
into the reputation.
Okay. Perfect.
I would say it's probably more regionally recognized than nationally. I mean, I think that it might be, I don't know, there may be a further reach in going to CU or CSU if you were to look for work outside of this region.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it had a good reputation locally.
In all honesty, I didn't know anything about Regis
Okay.
until my boss said, hey, you might want to look at this school.
Yeah.
Till then, I knew nothing about it.
I'm the same way, so yeah.
My friend referred me to this university.
Okay.
He was a graduate from here.
Perfect. That's great. So, changing it a little bit. What do you guys value in your education?
I think I value translatability
Okay.
from the classroom to the workforce. working, have current careers,
Mhm.
and the learning is still relevant and applicable.
Great.
Yeah, I'll second that as well. That's a very attractive aspect. When I talked to my advisor, she discussed that the vast majority of the staff are working in the field and have experience. And I own a small business, and it's awesome for me to take things that I learn in class and immediately apply them even the week that I learn them. I think that helps cement the knowledge in my mind and gives a practical application for it.
Great.
I think also the flexibility of having that choice of online or classroom format, that's an
Mhm.
important part of my education choice. 'Cause there's times where life is just chaotic, and I still wanna take the class, but I know I can do the online format if I choose to and not skip out on the class, because I can't dedicate that hour plus hours in class here,
Yeah.
so.
That's great. So going off that a little bit, do you guys value the option of like blended classrooms where there's a lot of, or maybe blended course material, I guess would be a better way to put that, like where there's in-classroom classes, there's online classes, you guys can do work outside of the classroom, you guys can use past experience as part of your like time here, things like that. Do you guys value that? Is that important to you or no?
Honestly, I like being here and
Okay,
taking
yeah.
classes in seat. I think there's value to online classes. I'm
Mhm.
just not wired to excel in that format.
Yeah.
So I liked that Regis has a large majority of classes offered
Great.
in seat. So.
Right, I've had I did an online class, and I've done the in-class settings as
Mhm.
well. Comparing the two, online is nice when you know that you're working, you're gonna be traveling,
Mhm.
you can take that option, you can keep moving forward. However, the in-class scenario is very beneficial for when you have these questions.
Okay.
You can actually address them
Yeah.
in class, and not just give the instructors take, but the entire class's take on that particular subject matter to get a much better applicational process or understanding to it.
Yeah. It's great feedback.
I value the classes that force you to go outside and think outside the box and actually take classes in certain areas and situations that you probably wouldn't have been in.
Great.
I haven't had that in the MBA program, but
Okay.
in the undergrad, Regis definitely pushes the servant leadership
Yeah.
in the students, and I've been to several old folks' homes, I've been to several shelters for women and children, and to be able to share our knowledge with those less fortunate plays a big impact on the value that I get from the education here.
Yeah.
I would say the MBA program has the same emphasis on servant leadership. It's come across a few of my classes. Yeah,
Great.
so I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And what do you guys value about Regis in general? About maybe the Jesuit education or the classes or teachers or like the experience of being here on campus? What do you guys value about that? Or do you value anything about it? If you don't, want to hear it too.
I think the in-person experience is so much more rich. So I got my undergraduate degree online, and if I'm completely honest, what I figured out was how to work the system and how to be very efficient in writing papers and reading what I needed to read to get by, because there wasn't a level of accountability, and certainly it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
But at the time I was working full-time, I just found it easier to just do what I needed to do rather than fully engaging. Well, in class, I feel like I learned more last week than I did in all of my undergraduate work.
Okay.
Because, and that sounds ridiculous, but I think in a lot of ways it's true, because I'm
Yeah.
forced to be accountable for what I'm learning, and you know, we're getting that, the experience that like Tom brings, for example, of having real world experience. It's just different than reading something out of a boring textbook. It just
Yeah.
completely changes the paradigm, so I think that is just incredibly valuable.
Great.
Yeah, what you said.
Hey, that's a good answer. Great answer.
I think there's still a stigma too on online classes, and I would have told you previous to last week that I thought that was, you know, going by the wayside. But unfortunately, you know, going forward, if I, as an employer, were to look at hiring somebody and they had an online degree versus an in-person degree, I could say that they at least stuck with the online degree. I mean, it's unbearable at times.
Yeah.
So they prove that they can finish something, but in terms of the level of education,
Mhm.
there's just no comparison. And I don't think that you have the same credibility. I mean, I'm going to be proud to say that I achieved this degree in an in-person setting.
Great.
You know, it just makes a big difference.
I really like the emphasis of leadership in the MBA program because in almost every class, regardless of the discipline, leadership is as important in every class.
Great.
Yeah, so even if you're in a highly technical government accounting class,
Mhm.
you're still paralleling that with leadership education as well. So
Yeah.
I really like that.
Going off that point, do you guys find that a lot of your classes are surrounding those values of leadership or servitude or working with others, just like different like values that are like intrinsic in people, but maybe not always in classes? Do you guys see that here through the MBA program? I don't know how far you guys are along, but is that shown through at all or no?
I'm not far enough along to answer that one.
That's a great answer, honestly.
Having not gone here for my undergraduate degree, I had one class where the professor at the beginning of the class actually went through the values and vision of Regis,
Mhm.
which was really valuable to me.
Cool.
Having been here for a year and a half. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to see that finally
Great.
in class. So
Yeah.
I do see it.
Perfect.
Yeah, with that, my very first class they took, the recommendation from my advisor was that one, and I got to hear the history behind it, vision of, what is the school and what do they see the student as.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was helpful.
Great.
And I've seen it hit or miss in some classes,
Mhm.
and but definitely not all of them.
So what were your expectations coming in for your program here? Most of you guys MBA program? Is that yes? Great, okay. So what were your guys' expectations for that coming in? And has Regis met them, or are you not far along enough to know?
For myself, just not that far along.
Okay.
3 classes into it. So far, it's about what I expected, very core.
Great.
So far.
Okay,
So,
yeah. What other expectations do you guys have? Or do you have any? Did you guys come in just hoping for the best?
well, I think at this level, any program you choose, you have specific reasons
Okay.
as to why you want to, or why you chose that program.
Okay.
Much like an earlier question you'd asked, whether it was an online course that brought us here, cost, convenience, reputation, it could be any of those factors.
Great.
I think what initially brought me here was I was looking for something that would round out my experience and my education.
Okay.
So I went fast and furious in my career,
Mhm.
and I didn't really have much of an opportunity to continue my education. So this was supposed to kind of catch me up to a point where I
Yeah.
felt like I was rounded
Okay.
as a leader and as a manager.
Do you feel like you're on that path? You're starting on that path? You're getting there?
I'm a work in progress.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that my expectations for the in-person segment of classes was exceeded, or has been so far. But unfortunately for the online segment, it's not met, or my expectations were considerably higher. I feel like the online system is 1995, completely archaic, and it's because of the poor design, it makes it very difficult to connect with classmates. I came in, and maybe this is just me, but I came in the first week of the in-person class, and I couldn't tell you who had interacted with me, because most of us didn't have avatars, and if you did, it's hard to see. The discussion board is all just laid out. I mean, it's overwhelming. You go in towards the later points of the week, it was just a million comments, just hard to follow.
Got it. Okay.
And I went to CSU Global for my undergraduate online degree, and while, like I said before, that wasn't exactly a wonderful experience, their software was much better for interaction and navigation. I still don't know where the syllabus is, other than through Tom's email. So had Tom not sent me the email, or all of us email, to find it, I can't for the life of me seem to find it in our system. And maybe that's just me, but it's just set up poorly
That's
to navigate.
good to know, though. So, could you talk a little bit more about the in-class expectation, how we and how it's been exceeded here, Is it this class in particular? Is it a different class? Is it every class?
Well, this is my first one, so I don't know
Okay.
what to expect from other instructors.
Hey.
But,
Nice job.
No, I expected Tom to teach from PowerPoint. My previous in-class experience, it's been years ago, but I've taken a number of classes where the teacher teaches to a PowerPoint, and I feel like I'm just reading, and he's reading from that, rather than sharing real-world experience. It goes back to what Lindsay was saying about theoretical versus practical application. So I expected Tom to teach from a PowerPoint and read from the book, et cetera, and not to be as engaging. Instead, I left last week completely exhausted because I had to pay attention because Tom was calling on everybody in the room. You know, it's a different experience, but I learned a lot more too.
Hey, it's always good.
There are a handful of teachers that push us and engage us, and it's really good. But unfortunately, there are some that
Yeah.
just do, assign us the homework, don't really give us proper feedback, and we just move on.
Yeah. There are the great teachers.
Yes, there's a
It's great. What else do you guys think about it? No. Okay, so, sorry. So,
I would say it's good to network.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've seen several faces over and over, and it's, you get comfortable, and it's a
Yeah.
great networking.
Great. I like it. So, my last question for you guys is kind of along the lines of what do you guys value at Regis, but what are like specific things that you guys really like or that you wish you had more of? Is there more like different hours you would like, different weeks of classes you would like, different like very specific things to Regis that you guys are looking for? Yes.
I would like more in-seat classes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's getting to, especially at this campus, because it's kind of central.
Yeah.
What I'm finding is the further I get along in the program, everything is now in the tech center, which makes it
Okay.
geographically very challenging.
Okay.
So that would be mine.
Yeah. And that's great to know, especially when we are merging the colleges, because we're merging them here. Like the office will be here. So that's very interesting to hear.
So should we be able to take all MBA classes in person? Like if I wanted to take only in-person classes, is that possible right now? or-
It is, but you
to
have
go
to jump
all
around.
around? Okay.
I'm glad that you knew that, because I had no idea, to be honest.
It depends on the
Yeah.
timing of when you take them, but
There's only certain ones available now.
yes. Yeah, so at one point I was like,
I don't think, I'm not negating what you're saying, my girlfriend's almost done, and then she's taking everything here.
oh, I've had some difficulty finding
Really?
classes here.
Okay.
In my discipline anyway, I'm not sure if her emphasis is the same as mine, but
And so that makes a difference too.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a marketing class for my first class, and that wasn't an option for an in-person class, so I just picked one of the couple of choices for in-person classes.
Yeah. How about like study abroad or internships, which is very like you typically think of that as an undergraduate program, but would you guys like something like that? Would you benefit from it, do you think?
I can see the benefit to an internship program. I think because you're in, well, it depends, I'm in a different life stages. I mean, everybody, that's what I like about the College of Professional Studies, which is not the College of Professional Studies anymore, but
Yeah.
I like that you get a variety of people in different stages of life and their career all here, so I don't know what utility you would get
Okay.
from that.
Yeah. That's a
But I
very
like the internship option.
yeah. And that's what we're looking for, to see like really what the demographics are here, so that we can better make a school for you guys. Because like I would like to come here at some point. I'm like an undergraduate senior, so I have to go to grad school. So trying to like figure out the school that fits you guys, so that it'll fit everyone else as well.
I like the idea of a master's program being difficult,
Okay.
because once you've achieved it,
Mm-hmm.
then you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
It's like Melissa said, you've been pushed.
Okay.
You feel a sense of accomplishment.
Great.
And value after something like that. I think if you put a standard on an MBA program, you want to market that. You want to have it at such a level, regionally, nationally, globally, that speaks volumes about what that program is, what it can do, and what it's for.
Great.
I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but And like I said, it's my first in-person class, so I don't know if all the classes are like this. Lindsay was kind of pointing out earlier that maybe they are, but this week in particular, I struggled with the assignment, and it's been a tough week for me anyway, but some of the practical application was more challenging, and after last week's experience, you know, we do the paper, we turn it in the day of class, so we do all of the work ahead of class. I felt like I would have done a much more effective job if I had done the assignment last Wednesday or Thursday after spending 4 hours talking about it, rather than doing it first. And I would have got more value out of that, and I would have learned more. So I'm pretty sure I butchered the assignment this week.
It happens.
You know, and I don't really know, like, my confidence level in you know, when I turn it in is much lower than it would be if I knew for sure I was on the right track.
Yeah. Okay. It's a very valuable answer.
I think one area for improvement is the relationship between advisors and students.
Okay.
In my experience here, I've not had a single good relationship with any of the 5 advisors I've had since I started this program.
Interesting. Okay.
They would prefer just to email back and forth. Actually tried to come in and sit in somebody's office, and I drove all the way down here, 45 minutes drive here, and spent less than 5 minutes in their office. And they basically threw the catalog at me and said, maybe you should look at the catalog. So if I could pick one area that would be really valuable to me,
Okay.
it would be developing more of a relationship between the advisors and the students, just to develop a clearer path, maybe.
Yeah.
Were you just trying to get direction on what to take next, or what was your goal?
Well, I had some questions on maybe working the program so that I could get some undergraduate courses included in my graduate work to balance me out, prepare me for potentially taking a CPA or some sort of certification exam.
Yeah.
Aside from the very first advisor I had, I've not had a very good experience with that, so
Okay.
I think maybe that area would be
Yeah.
enriched a little bit more.
The last thing I have for you guys is I feel like I've heard like challenge or like push you to grow very much, as you were saying, very much so through a lot of what you guys are saying. How do you guys quantify that? How could I go back to someone and say, okay, this is how we're going to push them? Obviously it's different for every person, but how do I go back to my advisor and say, this is what they want? Which is obviously a hard question, so I completely understand, but what do you guys think about that?
You know, that's a good question, because I think you have to first set a standard
Okay.
within the program itself,
Yeah.
baseline,
Great.
before you can actually start to look at what your stats should be.
Oh,
Because if you
interesting.
don't know
Okay.
what your baseline is, any data that's collected is meaningless.
Yeah.
You can derive anything you want from that. But if you have a starting point, then you have something to base it from, whether it's too high or too low.
Got it. Okay. I like that. Anything else for you guys? No? Okay. I'll stop interrupting your class now.